Oh, hi everybody. My name's Trey Sesler.
Trey Eric Sesler, aka Mr. Anime, a 22-year-old YouTuber that ran 2 channels to the point of obsession. But unfortunately for his family, YouTube was not the only thing he obsessed over. This is Night Owl. Welcome back. Today we're going to Waller, Texas. You know, they say everything is bigger in Texas. Except for towns apparently, seeing how Waller has around a mere 3,000 people in it. And what can I say about Waller? Well, it's hot. Very, very hot. It was also the home of the Sesler family. That would be the father, Lawton Ray Sesler Jr., the mother, Rhonda Wise Sesler, their oldest son, Mark Sesler, and the baby of the family, Trey. Trey was a 22-year-old YouTuber that went by the name Mr. Anime, and he ran 2 channels starting around September 14, 2006. One was his Mr. Anime channel. On it he reviewed different anime shows. And his second channel was called Lens Cap Productions. On this one he'd perform his own skits, normally displaying weapons. Then, on December 27, 2011, Trey shared some bad medical news with his fans. It seems he was diagnosed with pneumothorax, which is a buildup of air outside your lungs, but still in the chest cavity. It can be pretty serious. I mean, the resulting additional pressure could cause your lungs to collapse. But it is completely treatable. Then, in February 2012, he posted a video called Mr. Anime is Planning Something. In it, he explains that he was gonna be gone for 2 or 3 weeks. He never said why. But we now know that he was planning something a lot more sinister than just a vacation. About a month later, on the 20th of March, 2012, we believe that we discovered exactly what Mr. Anime was planning. At some time before 1 p.m. on that day, Rhonda took her son, Trey, out to the garage to show a new dent that was put into the car by someone who wasn't connected to this story. I'm not sure why she needed to show her son the dent. I mean, it doesn't sound like she was blaming him for it at all, but I guess it doesn't really matter. But what does matter is that it gave Trey the chance he was waiting for. And he, of course, took it. He pulled out his mother 4 times at point-blank range. He then returned to the house, where he found his big brother. Trey then. Mark, surviving the first attempt, retreated to the bathroom and locked the door. Trey. The door down, and his brother again. His father, who was sleeping up to this time, awoke due to the commotion. And the sight that greeted him when he woke up must have truly horrified him. There was Trey, taking aim at his own father. He then, without hesitation, his father twice. Trey then took his, and went through his house again. First, he went back to the garage. Once there his mother twice more. He then went to the bathroom. Once there his brother once again. Then, he returned to his parents' room and his dad one more time. He then proceeded to totally trash his house for some reason, and unalive all their family pets. Then, on the walls of his family home, he wrote 2 messages. And they read, and I quote, "God forgive me because I cannot forgive myself." And the second message was, "I love my mom, dad, and brother." Oh really, dude? You loved them? If that was really true, then you wouldn't have done what you did. I mean, I just don't get it. Here's 3 people. People that truly loved you. According to my research, there wasn't any stories of mistreatment, or anything like that. And how did you show how much you loved them? You unalive them. At any rate, he wasn't exactly done yet. For you see, that was just phase 1 of his plan. Now, it was time for phase 2. He assembled the tools of his newly discovered trade, hopped into his 2010 Ford Mustang and headed to the Waller High School, the very same school he himself graduated from years earlier. Phase 2, as you may have guessed already, was to ensure that Waller High School would end up being said in the same breath as Columbine and Virginia Tech. Once there he sat, and he sat, and he sat some more. the whole time debating on whether or not to go ahead with Phase 2. In the end, he decided to bail on the whole thing. He opted instead to take off to his friend's house over in Magnolia, Texas, where he hoped to crash for a bit. Shortly after 1 p.m., on the 20th, the police showed up to the Sesler residence in response to a wellness check request. You see, some of the family grew concerned when they could not reach any of the Seslers. And what the police walked into, they probably weren't prepared for. Oh hell. I'd be surprised if they weren't completely overwhelmed by what greeted them. Think about it. You're a small town cop, your last week, or month, or even year has been filled with handing out citations for speeding, or for not wearing a seatbelt. Maybe the worst you come across is taking a dude in for some possession. You know. Stuff like that. Then, you're greeted by the horror that met them at the Sesler's house. I know I'd feel bloody well overwhelmed myself. The police chief even stated that it was like a war zone. But overwhelmed or not, the police did their job, and they did it well. I mean, sure, most of their work was done for them. The dude did pretty much confess to his crimes all over the walls of his house. At any rate, the police took Trey Sesler into custody at 9:30 p.m. on the night of March 20th, 2012. When asked why he did what he did to his family, he said, and I quote, "They were the first immediate human targets in my sight." Wow. The dude definitely needs a checkup from the neck up. He was also asked why he chose to back out of going into the school, and he said that he felt like it was all getting too real. Geez. Too bad you didn't think of that before you did what you did to your family. When they checked into his past, they discovered that a lot of it was serial. In the making kinda stuff. I mean, he had animals, and had an obsession with cereal. En masse. Such as Columbine High School and Virginia Tech. In the end, Trey was charged with 3 counts of in the first. To which, on August 2, 2012, he pled guilty to all charges. He received a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Now, let's be honest here. There is one reason and only one reason he pled guilty. And that was to save his own hide. I mean, let's face it. If it went to a full-blown trial, he knew he would be found guilty anyway. And the sentence? Well, we all know what sentence Trey would have got. I mean, Texas is pretty much the F around and find out state. And as for some of the Waller residents? Well, they weren't too keen on the sentence Trey got. They thought that he should have been ended by the state. Do I believe that justice was served in this case? Yes. I mean, he has indeed breathed his last bit of free air. So yeah, I think it was a fair and just sentence. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But dude, wasn't that sort of a stiff sentence? I mean, the guy had to have some kind of mental illness or something. Well, of that, I have little doubt. But my issue with that is that, yes, some mental illnesses may be used to explain what happened, to explain why he did it. But all too often people seem to use mental illness to excuse perpetrators of a crime such as this. And that should never happen. Because when it does, it's almost like people start forgetting all about the victims. And that, too, should never happen, because when it does, then the victims are denied the justice that they so richly deserve. Victims like the 57-year-old mother of 2 who worked at the Waller Times named Rhonda Wise Sesler. She was the first one to fall at the hands of her son Trey. Or like Mark Allen Sesler, the 26-year-old big brother of Trey, who was his second victim. Or the 58-year-old teacher at the Robison Elementary School and father of 2 Lawton Ray Sesler Jr., Trey's own father and his final victim. They are the ones that should never be forgotten. But what do you think? Do you think justice was served? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. And as always, if you liked our content, then please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. It'll really help me with those pesky algorithms. And remember, be you good or be you wicked, everyone deserves justice. Good night.